back to the Anything and Everything Show. I'm here with Bill Tebow, District Attorney. Tell us what's going on with the District Attorney's Office and underage drinking.
Well, we actually get involved in a lot of situations where teens are drinking. In fact, when I took office in 2005, I set up a new unit in our office called the Community Outreach Unit. It's heavily emphasizing prevention for our underage youth here in Pueblo. And one of the aspects of that is that we try to focus in on the fact that a good percentage of crimes that are committed in our community are related to some kind of alcohol problem that people have. So if we can get to the youth early and teach them that alcohol can be a contributing factor to a life of crime, essentially, that perhaps they can make the right choices with the help of a family and support units that they have to make better choices, to choose a lifestyle that doesn't have alcohol in it. And so we try with our outreach unit to deal with situations in the neighborhoods, with groups, with individuals, with families. But you know, so often it's a situation where parents play a crucial role in making sure that their children aren't involved with drugs, and that's a hard situation to deal with even when you're in law enforcement or when you have an outreach unit. It's a lot of individual choices, and sometimes if students don't have the support of their family or don't have the support of friends, they can drift off into what can become a very dangerous situation in not only alcohol but drugs and the parties that go on and the circumstances that surround our youth in our community, you know, relying on alcohol for a good time. And so we're trying to reach out and prevent this in the first instance. If a youngster's involved with alcohol and is caught in the system, we try to work with them and their families to try to divert them into programs that make them realize that it's not a good thing to be involved with alcohol. So we have those kind of situations. Unfortunately, there are minors or juveniles that get involved to the point where they're in very serious trouble with the law. And then, of course, more firm kinds of sanctions are imposed on students like that or youth like that.
So, Bill, we had Judge Alexander on. We had a couple other people that I asked this question to. What do you hear from the parents? What's the common thing that you hear from the parents? We're kind of trying to, I guess, find a common denominator, but what's something that you hear?
Well, what I hear a lot is that they just can't control their children, that, you know, they can't know where they are at all hours of the day or night, and that they may think they're somewhere when they're not really there, they're somewhere else. And so, you know, it's real difficult. Now, I'm a parent as well, and my wife and I have a large family. We have several children, and it is a practical problem, but I think you have to make extra effort to call them on their cell phone, to call a friend on the cell phone, to call a parent of where your child said they were going, you know, to check up on them, especially when they're younger, because if you don't, they can steer off. And if you do, actually, I think the youngsters appreciate that. They know that you love them, they know that you care, and at the same time, they know that you're watching over them. And so I've had occasions where my children, if they're not where they say they are, we make efforts to get them picked up and brought home and say, if you're going to play that kind of a game, you know, you're just not going to be out tonight. When you're truthful and tell us where you're going to be, then that's a different story. So I think probably the most common concern that parents have is that they just can't control their children. They don't know where their children are. But it's incumbent upon parents to really get out there and try. It's hard work. There's no instructions on how to be a parent, but you just have to invest yourself time and time again. And sometimes you're tired and you don't feel like doing this, but you just have to. You just have to pick yourself up and be sure you know where they are.
So what do you think about the kids getting together and doing this Take It Back project? What do you think about it so far, what you've heard?
Oh, I'm excited about it, and I think it's a tremendous effort, because any time that an effort like this starts with the kids themselves, and I noticed a lot of parents in the audience, then it is a situation where you do take it back. When you're lectured to or you're told to do certain things, especially when you're a youngster, you can block it out and you can say, I don't need to hear this. I'll do what I please. But when you actually take the time and invest yourself and that of your family, it's meaningful. And I'll tell you, there'll be, even if there's a half a dozen students that benefit from a program like this, that translates into another half a dozen students in a week, and still another half a dozen on top of that in the next week, and it multiplies to the point where pretty soon it's going to be cool to stay away from alcohol, and it'll be the norm of the youngsters in our community, instead of the temptation to be a part of a party or part of the alcohol scene. So, I just think it's that peer pressure and that ability to reach out for yourself and for your family and with your friends, and make it okay to have a lifestyle away from alcohol.
All right. Thank you very much, Phil. We'll be back.